Hey, what's up guys? Steve here. And today we're going to take a look at the 40 highest selling 1987 through 1994 Michael Jordan basketball cards from the PWCC weekly auction that ended on February 4th. And we'll kick today's list off at number 40 with Michael Jordan's 1992 Upper Deck card number 23. This was a PSA 9 and it sold for $26.40. Up next at number 39 is this 1992 St. Vincent U.S. Olympic Basketball Michael Jordan stamp. This was a PSA 9 and it sold for $33.60. While I know this is technically not a basketball card, I have not seen this Jordan stamp ever show up since I started covering these PWCC weekly auctions, so I included it in case there are any Jordan collectors out there that have never seen this one before. Coming in at number 38 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Upper Deck card number 198. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $38.40. Up next at number 37 is this 1992 Fleer Michael Jordan card number 32. This was an SGC 9.5 and it also sold for $38.40. Coming in at number 36 is this 1993 Fleer Living Legends Michael Jordan card number 4. This was a PSA 8 and it sold for $44.40. Did the inaugural 1991 Upper Deck basketball set at number 35 with this Bulls checklist featuring Michael Jordan with card number 75. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $48 even. We're headed back to the 1993 Upper Deck basketball set at number 34 with Michael Jordan's card number 166. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for just over $50. Coming in at number 33 is this 1993 Stadium Club Beam Team Michael Jordan card number 4. This Jordan insert was in a PSA 6 and it sold for $55.20. Up next at number 32 is this 1993 Hoops Michael Jordan All-Star card number 257. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $56.40. Coming in at number 31 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Skybox card number 307. This was a PSA 10 and it also sold for $56.40. We get another Michael Jordan All-Star card to kick off the top 30 with his 1992 Topps All-Star card with card number 115. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $62.40. Up next at number 29 is this 1991 Hoops USA Michael Jordan card number 579. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $72 even. We get our first Jordan from the 1980s at number 28 with Michael Jordan's 1989 Hoops All-Star with card number 21. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $74.40. We're headed back to the 1991 Skybox basketball set at number 27 with Michael Jordan's base card with card number 39. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $86.40. Coming in at number 26 is this 1993 Fleer Michael Jordan card number 224. This was also a PSA 10 and it sold for $88.80. Up next at number 25 is this 1992 Skybox Olympic Team Michael Jordan card number USA 11. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $105.60. Coming in at number 24 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Ultra card number 30. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $110.40. We get another Michael Jordan All-Star card at number 23 with his 1990 Hoops All-Star card number 5. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $112.80. Up next at number 22 is this 1992 Ultra Michael Jordan card number 216. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $117.60. We're headed back to the inaugural 1989 Hoops basketball set at number 21, this time with Michael Jordan's base card with card number 200. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $126. And kicking off the top 20 of today's list is this 1992 Upper Deck Michael Jordan card number 453. This non-air variation was in a PSA 10 and it sold for $132. Up next at number 19 is this 1993 Topps Gold Michael Jordan card number 384. This gold parallel was in a PSA 10 and it sold for $144. We're sticking to the same 1993 Topps basketball set at number 18 with Michael Jordan's gold 50-point club with card number 64. This was a PSA 10 and it also sold for $144. Coming in at number 17 is this 1994 SP Championship Playoff Heroes Michael Jordan, card number P2. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $150. We get one of my favorite subsets of the Junk Wax era at number 16 with this 1991 Fleer Pro Visions Michael Jordan card number 2. This was a PSA 10 and it also sold for $150. Coming in at number 15 is this 1992 Topps Gold Michael Jordan card number 115. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $156. Up next at number 14 is this 1992 Michael Jordan Panini sticker, sticker number 102. This was a BGS 9 and it also sold for $156. Coming in at number 13 is this 1992 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 238. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $162. Up next at number 12 is Michael Jordan's classic 1990 Fleer, card number 26. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $192. Coming in at number 11 is this 1994 Upper Deck USA Basketball Gold Medal Michael Jordan, card number 85. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $210. And kicking off the top 10 of today's list is this 1993 Stadium Club First Day Issue Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a PSA 8, and it sold for $216. We're headed back to the 1990 Hoops basketball set at number 9, this time with Michael Jordan's base card with card number 65. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $264. Up next at number 8 is this 1993 Fleer All-Stars Michael Jordan, card number 5. This was a BGS 9.5, and it sold for $360. We're headed back to the 1980s at number 7 with Michael Jordan's 1988 Fleer base card with card number 17. This was a PSA 9, and it sold for $384. Coming in at number 6 is this 1992 Stadium Club Beam Team Michael Jordan, card number 1. This Jordan insert was in a SGC 9, and it sold for $444. Alright guys, and before we get to the top 5, I do have 5 bonus cards to share with you today. And we'll start off with Michael Jordan's 1991 Fleer, card number 29. This was a PSA 9, and it sold for $22.80. For a raw Michael Jordan insert, I found this 1993 Ultra Inside Outside, card number 4. This card was ungraded but authenticated by NBA, and it also sold for $22.80. Headed back to the 1989 Fleer basketball set, we get Michael Jordan's sticker with sticker number 3. This was a PSA 8, and it sold for $20.40. For our 4th bonus card, I don't believe I've ever seen an ungraded copy of this card up for auction in these weekly auctions, but I found this 1990 Bulls Equal Star Michael Jordan, card number 1. This card was authenticated by NBA, and it also sold for $20.40. And for our 5th and final bonus card, this is one that's usually in a PSA 10 up for auction just about every week. I ran across Michael Jordan's 1991 Upper Deck base card with card number 44. This was a PSA 9, and it sold for $19.20. And kicking off the top 5 of today's list is this 1987 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 59. This was a BGS 8.5, and it sold for $480. Up next at number 4 is this 1992 Stadium Club Members Only Michael Jordan, card number BT1. This was a BGS 9, and it sold for $552. Coming in at number 3 is this 1991 Clio Michael Jordan Valentines. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $690. We're headed back to the 1993 Ultra Basketball set at number 2, with Michael Jordan's famous nicknames with card number 7. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $780. And we have a massive price jump to top today's list off at number 1, with this 1992 Fleer Total D Michael Jordan card number 5. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $11,400. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.